Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. I know that there wasn't a video on the usual schedule this week, but it's mainly because I kind of wanted to get this video done on Black Ops 4 and my first impressions, and I wanted to get it out as quickly as possible. So, it's going to be uploaded on this day, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be uploading the same video on Friday. I'll probably do that. Anyway. So this is my Black Ops 4 first impressions on everything in the entirety of the game. So I'm going to be breaking it down into sections, and I'm going to be talking about each individual section. First, we're going to be talking about multiplayer, then zombies, and then finally Black Ops, the Blackout mode, and then we're going to be going into my final thoughts and conclusions to be drawn from each of the sections. So, without further ado, let's get started with multiplayer. Okay, so the multiplayer. It's pretty good. It's nice. I like it. It's a boots on the ground, and it's it's good. It kind of goes back to its roots. It doesn't really have any advanced movements other than really sliding, but sliding in this case is actually pretty decent. Again, it's nice. I like the map designs of some of the newer maps, especially, I forget. It's not like Raid or something, but there's one map where you can like hop off the side and no one's really realized that you can hop off the side and then come around to the side of it and then hop back up. I've gotten a couple cheeky kills that way. That was one of my favorite maps, where it's like in a favela area. It's not favela, but it's like taking place around a kind of, I forget, but it's a very nice. Some of the map designs are very nice. Some of the older maps I really do are some of the better ones of the original game, but I haven't really played on them that much. But they are very good. Yeah. So the specialists are really cool, and my favorite, in my personal opinion, ever since the beta came out, was actually Firebreak, and yeah, as in the beta, I think he works really well in sort of objective-based game mode because he can actually lock down an area with his abilities, and he's very effective at that job. His ultimate, the flame, the firebreak, or the whatever it's called, I forget. He is very effective, even though I think that sometimes people should be set on fire, even though they're not. It's pretty decent. My next favorite one is definitely Nomad with his abilities. He can, even though I haven't been able to really get a kill because people have seen that the sticky launcher that he has, they can see the outline of it, I guess, and they can just like as easily avoid the laser if they pay attention. I've not really gotten any cheeky kills with it yet, but it's a pretty decent way to lock down a certain area and like know what's happening. And I like his ultimate as well, having Juno the dog, who is pretty decent and pretty cute when she's not attacking you for the jugular. But she's very nice. But the whole thing of Nomad is very nice, and I like the quiet, reserved characters. Yeah, and I think Ajax is a neat idea. No, those are the only three specialists I've really played, but I think Ajax is a neat idea with his shield and pist and SMG combo. Seeing as I'm my favorite character in Rainbow Six Siege is Blitz. I kind of do like that. It's really good, and his shield is very effective at doing its job, and he can really tend to wreck house if not checked. The other specialists, definitely not my cup of tea as of now, but I'm not sure how often I'll play them personally, but I do think that all the specialists do seem rather nice in the way that they're balanced and the way that they interact with one another, and it's good stuff already. So multiplayer, thumbs up for me. Okay, so zombies, I'm going to be breaking it down by map. So I'm going to be starting off with the 3 maps that you get with just pre-ordering the game, and then I'm going to be going into classified, the map that you get with the ultimate or whatever edition. But I'm first going to be talking about general gameplay additions and gameplay stuff starting out. So starting out with that, in Zombies you get like 3 maps at launch, 4 maps with the edition that I purchased, which is the $120 edition. But I think you get it with like a higher edition if you didn't pre-order the game, which is like the most maps in Zombies at launch. I think like 3 maps. What other map came out? Well, I think Black Ops 1 also came out with 3 maps technically, but you had to like kind of like get it. I do wish that they brought back Black Ops the Dead. Like the I forget it wasn't called The Dead, it was another one. But I think I really do wish that they brought that back. But that's fine. But they're nice. They're really crisply designed, and I'll get into each of them individually. The new features of picking your perks is an interesting one, mainly because you can like set it up to have some pretty interesting perk combinations. But the only problem that I see with that is that now, unfortunately, you can't like pick the perk. You can't like. I guess it's a good and a bad thing. Mainly for 2 reasons. One is that you can immediately pick your perks and know what's going to be on the map, and the perk positions don't like move around and stuff. But I think that it also makes the Zombies a bit harder because you can only have 4 perks at all throughout the entirety of your PlayStation. I know that you can have different perks per person, but you can still only have 4 perks. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get all of the perks via the Easter egg. Don't quote me because I don't personally know that. If anything else, just whatever, put it down in the description. The new gun leveling system is back. None of this. I know this also applies to multiplayer, but the gun leveling system is back for Zombies as well. And of course, the leveling system for Zombies is also available as well for there, which is nice. And you can even make your own loadouts in Zombies, which is actually really interesting. Now, it's not like in the original Zombies where you could like pick your attachments that you can put onto certain weapons. You could still kind of do that with the gun leveling system, but you can actually pick your starting loadout, which is essentially an ultimate, which I personally find some of my favorite ones include guns and like freaking my personal favorite one is the one where you have like a gun and a blade whip, which is my personal favorite. I love it. But you can also pick your starting gun too, and not all of them are pistols. You have a standard pistol, then you have a machine pistol, and you can even go up as high as a shotgun, which is actually pretty nice that you can get to pick that and not just be locked into one. So now I'm going to go over the maps one at a time, starting off with Voyage of the Damned, or Voyage of the Dead, or whatever it is. The Voyage map. The map itself has an interesting design and an interesting location, to say the least. I think the last time an interesting location like this really caught my eye was when they went to Alcatraz in Mob of the Dead, which again was kind of in this game, but I'm going to get into that in just a second. But I think that Voyage is a very interesting location, mainly because it's very claustrophobic in certain areas, meaning that you can easily get yourself caught and cornered in this location. It's pretty decent, to say the least, but I think that in my eyes, the whole thing about this whole Blood of the Dead is... not Blood of the Dead. This whole Voyage map is that it just seems to be an introduction, and you can get Pack-a-Punch... I don't know how easily you can get Pack-a-Punch on this map, but like one of the maps that you can get Pack-a-Punch pretty easily on, towards like wave 10 or 11, which is again pretty nice to do that. The zombies on this map have interesting designs. The zombies on each of the maps actually do feel different depending on which map you're on, and Voyage has some pretty interesting designed ones. I assume that this is the Titanic, based solely upon we're on a boat and some other stuff. I don't think that I'm correct 100%, but in the end, it's okay. I also like the design of the box, even though it's horrifying in this sense. That doesn't mean that it's not cool looking. Like, it kind of moves and shapes in this map and for most of the other maps. But I do like the way that like the thing is kind of made and not really formed out of just wood, which is okay. Next up, Blood of the Dead. We're gonna go over this one next. I like it a lot. It's a Mob of the Dead remastered, essentially, but it's pretty decent. So it's not to say that I don't have a lot to say on it because I didn't see much of the map, but I do have to say that it was fairly decently fun to play. Again, you have the dogs that you're gonna have to be going through the map to do. I didn't really get through that whole thing at the time of recording this video. But you get to see all the characters from Black Ops 2, not the not the characters that you're playing as, but the characters that you played as in those games, like Stuhlinger and Misty and those guys. Those one, and Russman, I forget the last guy. But you get to see those guys in, like, the pods, which I think correlates into the timeline. But that's a nice thing to see. You actually get to see those characters. And you actually get to see those characters there. Alcatraz looks really cool, really nicely redesigned. And the incredible zombies designs from Mob of the Dead do actually make it and do translate very nicely into this new game. I do love the fact that they brought back those zombies designs, because god dang do some of those zombies designs translate really well into this context. They look really awesome, really nicely designed. I mean, seriously, this is like the best of all of it, which is really cool. I love those zombies designs, especially for Mob of the Dead. 9, the most fun of the 3 in my opinion. The zombie tigers are awesome to see. Like, seriously, they are the most fun to be against. Not because they're difficult, but because they're just interesting to, like, play against. They're zombie tigers, man. They gotta be badass. The designs of them are awesome. There's a challenge system in play to get some easy stuff like self-revives, pack-a-punch guns, and other sorts of things. The map design is nice when you look at it from a layout perspective, but when you look at it from a graphical perspective, it looks beautiful. It's really cool, really nice, and it's just an interesting map design overall. Now moving on to Classified. This can only be accessed through certain editions, so take this however you want to. The Classified, it's okay, not too bad. This is actually one of my least favorite maps, which is odd to say. You get to see the original characters from Black Ops 1, Takeo and Dempsey, the original Takeo and Dempsey, that is, and stuff like that. The voices of those characters are back to where they were before, but in my opinion, they don't age well. Those voices and those voice lines don't really age too well, in my opinion. Again, not the best. The voices can get a bit grating for me at some points. I especially liked the aesthetics. But the aesthetics are nice, even though they're not the best in my opinion. Again, for the most part, seems to be like it's after the White House fell and all that stuff in that timeline or whatever the heck. But I don't while the map design itself, again, just from a purely design standpoint, is nice, the aesthetics are okay, though not the best. They can definitely be nice. I do like the fact that they did open up a lot more parts of the map that I wanted to go into, like the back portion of the map, this other portion of the map, etc. It's very nicely designed, very okay, and they still have the elevators, they still have the teleport system, they still have the pack-a-punch way to get all the DEFCONs and stuff, even though they kind of moved one to another room. But trust me when I say this is an okay map. Not the best of the maps at launch, but definitely one that you should check out if you really like these kinds of map. And the map is a bit darker than I remember it being, and I'm not sure if that's just an aesthetic design, And I do hate the fact that there is no song Easter egg here because, god dang it, please, I need those phones. Those phones and the song Easter egg were awesome. Oh, the song Easter eggs are my favorite Easter eggs of all. But whatever. Anyway, that's just whatever. Maybe there's another way to do it. I don't care. I really like those song Easter eggs. Come on. Whatever. Anyway, on to the Blackout mode. So the Blackout mode is the one that I spent the least amount of time in. It's not that I found it to be bad. It's just that it's another Battle Royale thing, and I've kind of fallen out of the Battle Royale thing for the most part. However, it's actually not terrible. The best thing is that the gameplay is very tightly designed. Again, Fortnite might be similar, but this one seems to be more designed around realism and realistic Call of Duty-esque combat put in a Battle Royale setting. And this is kind of the best way that they did it. They really emphasized the Call of Duty-esque gameplay in this, whereas the other ones can only really emulate it. The gameplay is tight. There is no third-person mode available, at least not to my knowledge. And again, I think that's actually kind of a good thing and a bad thing, but it's a good thing more because, in my opinion, the first-person mode, when I started playing it when I started playing PUBG exclusively in first person, it was very nicely because it relied a lot more on your skill, and it made it so that way people couldn't really look over things and look over at you. So that's nice. It feels like Call of Duty. It's nice. It's really cool, and it's again very hectic. And I think it has actually the most intriguing sort of system for inventory space, in that it actually, when you pick up an attachment, it'll automatically equip it to your weapon. And I like that, because in other games you have to pick it up, and then you have to go into your inventory and you have to click it on, and sometimes you have to scroll through this or that and the other thing in order to get to that thing, and then you have to drag it over to this. And again, it's not as fast. In this one it feels fast and snappy and amazing. And there are actually zombies on the map, which is really cool. Again, if you like that, they're in certain locations. Not many spawn, but they are very nice if you just as a change of pace, which I really like. Yeah, the vehicles are amazing. The places on the map and the wingsuits are very nice to see throughout the entire experience of playing it. And I feel like this is actually fairly fair. Because again, since everyone's in first person, since everyone has all this other stuff, I definitely think that's definitely okay. I think that my personal favorite is the flatbed truck, where you could pick up your teammates and have them just be on the back of the truck. They don't even need to be in the truck, which is nice. But yeah, all of the vehicles are cool. I haven't found a helicopter. There's helicopters in this, which is really cool to see. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of locations where it's just really good, really tightly designed, nice. I like it. It's pretty cool, but I spent the least amount of time in it, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. Okay. Final thoughts. It's a good game, good for the $60 price point, at least for my opinion, but I paid $120, so that's double the amount of price, so I get the Black Ops Pass and all that stuff. But I definitely like it. I like that it seems to be going a bit more back to the roots of the game, kind of, but it does have that boots on the ground gameplay, which you've experienced for the past two games, but I really do think that this is on the level, not the same level, but on a similar level to the Black Ops 2 and maybe Black Ops 3-ish, but I really do like it, and I think that is okay. No campaign, but I don't really mind. I like the campaign. I'd like to have a campaign. I like the campaign in most of the other Call of Duties, and that's really the reason why I played it. But I guess I can see the reason why they didn't include one for whatever reason. The zombies is always nice to see. It's really, really good. All the maps that they created feel different from one another, and they are all really just amazingly good at this whole thing. And finally, the Blackout Edition is a pretty good thing, and the whole game mode of Blackout works. Overall, I think this game is nice. If you really want to go and play it, it's on the Battle.net.com, and if you've probably already think that if you like this whole opinion based thing, I'll try to bring out more Black Ops content in the future. Hopefully, I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching this first impressions episode, and a peace off.
Staring at the ceiling, fighting off a fear.